Hello and welcome to this morning's Stay Sane with Claire. I'm Clare Yosa, and today I want to talk to you about the magic of a minute when you are losing your cool on lockdown. Now, we're heading into day 4 of lockdown in the UK if you're watching this when it first came out, and the initial excitement and kind of we can do this feel is starting to tail off a bit. I'm hearing friends panicking about what happens if the current UK uncharacteristic sunny spell stops. Don't worry, I've got a video for that on Monday for you. And the magic of a minute. So we're dealing with a lot of emotions. Morning, Freddie, welcome. We're dealing with a lot of emotions at the moment. We're doing really well. You know, the people I'm hearing from and connecting with are really keeping their chin up, okay? But there's a lot of stuff bubbling under the surface. And what I'm hearing is people feeling really guilty if they get emotional, if they want to cry, if they have a meltdown. So here is the magic of a minute. If that emotion comes up, give yourself a minute. Give yourself the gift. Go and lock yourself in the bathroom if you need to. If you need to cry, really, really cry for a minute. If you need to shout, grab a pillow and scream into it for a minute. If you need to let out an emotion, let it out for 1 minute. Do it in private if you can, so you're not saying and doing things to hurt your loved ones. If you have a garden, doing it outside, standing on grass can be really healing. Is just pouring it out through your feet into the earth. The thing is, when we suppress emotions and push them on down, the work of people like Bruce Lipton on biology of belief shows that this can start to shut off the cell receptors in the body, meaning they don't communicate with each other very well anymore, and it can actually lead to long-term physical health problems as well as the mental and emotional health problems of shoving stuff down. And I'm not saying we should all sit there wailing and howling the whole time. But here's what happens when you feel a very strong emotion. At its simplest level, an emotion is a biochemical reaction in the body. When you try and suppress that, the body is still producing those biochemical reactions to feed that emotion. You end up with a massive inner conflict and shutting down. If you just allow it to flow through you for 1 minute, and then you do some calm breathing. Maybe if you can stand outside, you've got your feet on the grass and you're breathing in and out through your feet, letting that emotion go. If you can't go outside, go somewhere in your home that feels grounding for you. You might even want to set up a little area of your home that's like your calm space where you can go for this first aid technique. Breathing in through your feet up to your heart, breathing out through the body, the legs, the feet into the earth, letting go of that emotion. Any emotion left to its own devices will pass on through in about 60 seconds. The reason that worry, anxiety, stress, fear, sadness, grief, and everything lasts so long is the stories we tell ourselves about them. That's why I teach techniques to help people to press pause on that inner dialogue, because if that emotion comes up and we're fully present to it and we let it go and we give ourselves that 1 minute and we've pressed pause on the stories so we don't keep feeding that emotion, it can actually create an incredible sense of relief. That emotion is out. We're not having to carry the weight of it anymore. We're not having to suppress it and fight it anymore. And it can leave you free to move on with your day. And if you do this in a conscious way, so you don't do it in front of your kids, for example, so leaving them completely traumatized as mummy is sobbing in the corner, if you do it in a way that is calm, that you feel that bubbling up and you say, I'm going to go and take 1 minute and I'm going to let this emotion go, it can really help you with natural resilience. It can help you to be calm. It can help you to be the rock that your loved ones need you to be right now. It can help you to reconnect with your inner positivity, and that resets the biochemical reactions in the body, that calms the thoughts, that shifts the emotions, and then you can start looking at positives like the power of gratitude to really keep us going through these challenging times. Techniques to press pause on your inner critic are in the masterclass I ran this week on the resilience myth. You can still get instant access to it if you join us in the Natural Resilience group. That's at clareyosa.com/natural resilience. Excuse me. And I'd love to hear from you this morning via the chat. How have you been doing emotionally? Really, Yeah, because a lot of people think everybody's busy being a superhero. Yeah, have a look at my eyes. They've had a cry this morning. But I did it for 1 minute. I got it out of my system, and I didn't allow myself to dive into the drama. I went and took action to fix the thing that had pressed the button. And actually, the button that had been pressed was tiny. It was the build-up of a couple of weeks of really strong emotions from when I got stuck in South Africa in the lockdown with my son last week and everything else. It needed to come out. And by allowing yourself to process those emotions for a minute and then let them go, you set yourself free to be more of who you really are, to be truly present for your family, to have a much longer fuse, to be more naturally resilient, and to come through this thriving rather than surviving. So come and join us, clarejosa.com/natural resilience. I'd love to hear from you. If you found this useful, please tag people or share this episode. If you're watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to make sure you catch each one. I'll be back on Monday with some super important stuff you can do if the sun stops shining and you're on lockdown. So don't stress about that this weekend. I'll be back 8:45 UK time on Monday with the next installment of Stay Sane with Clare when I've got my voice back.